at the time if others join. वो screen share allow कर देना please.
Yes, it is done.
Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, I Dhananjay Gupta welcome you all on behalf of Hindu Center of Atlanta's weekly program for the kids and young youth. We are joined for the series Sanatan, Dharm, Simplified. We have joined together for our weekly program Sanatan, Dharm, Simplified. In this program, we learn Vedic mantras and their meaning. One of the participants also read a story and we learn the morals from the story. We are fortunate to have Acharya Brahmadevji amongst us, joining us from Mauritius. Over to Acharya.
Om. Namaste everybody. Let's sit down straight, close the eyes gently, bring the mind to focus by deep breathing, long, slow inhale and exhale 2-3 times. Then we'll do Om chanting, and after that, one time Gayatri mantra. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om. Join the palms together, rub them gently, cover the eyes, open the eyes below the palms so that external light doesn't hit at your eye, and transfer the energy to the facial muscles. So welcome everybody. Anyone has anything to tell us? Yes, please unmute yourself and then proceed.
Okay. The Golden Bird. Once, a king had an apple tree, which bore golden apples in his royal garden. One day, the king realized that someone stole his apples every day. He told his elder son to guard the apples at night. However, the elder son fell asleep and another apple was stolen. Then he sent his second son to guard the garden, who slept too, and an apple was stolen again. Then one of his ministers suggested that the king should send his youngest son. The king said, "My youngest son is good for nothing." The minister argued, "One should never underestimate anybody. Give him a chance. The king agreed and sent his youngest son. The son kept awake all night and caught the golden bird that stole the apples every day. The king was delighted to see the beautiful golden bird and thanked his son. After this, he never underestimated anybody.
That's good. Never underestimate anybody. That's a good principle in life. Because when you underestimate someone, you don't, you tend to look down, and that's not good as a human being. Look down upon others. And then you'll always be humble. Because when you underestimate somebody, you tend to be overridden by ego, by pride. Then when we lose our humility, we lose one of the human values. Let's see, Tuesday we are celebrating the Vedic Hindu New Year. Let's see what it's about. I'll be sharing my screen. So, Vedic Hindu New Year, it's known as Nav Samvatsara. Nav stands for new, and Samvatsara is the year. And this is in Hindi. In South India, in the regions where people speak Telugu, it's known as Yugadi. Again, there is two words, Yug and Adi. Yug means era and Adi means the start, that is the start of a new era, the start of a new year. And in the region of Maharashtra, it's known as Gudi Padava. So Nav Samvatsara, basically, this is where the Hindu New Year starts. It starts on the first day of the waxing phase of the moon, that is with the new moon, in the new lunar month of Chaitra. Chaitra is usually end March, beginning April. Because the lunar month is not as it's standard, it's based on the phases of the moon, but it's not, it doesn't correspond to what we know as the Gregorian calendar. There also the year has 12 months. We'll look at that at some other point in time. But remember, Tuesday, 13th of April this year is the Vedic Hindu New Year starts. Nav Samvatsara, so that will be the start of the new year, 1,960,853,122 years since the creation was completed, with the human species as the last form of life in the universe. That's why it's called Shrishti Samvat. So when the priests do the prayers, they begin with the reading of the calendar, and this is what they read. The year of the creation as 1.96 billion years. But it's also the year, as we say, Vikram Samvat, marking the coronation of Emperor Vikram. It's 2078 years since Emperor Vikram was coronated. And it also marks the end of the war of the Mahabharata, where Yudhishthira was coronated as the Samrat Emperor of India, and it's 5,122 years since that, and that was the start of the Kali Yuga, the 4 yugas in the Hindu Dharma. The first is Sat Yuga, then we have Treta Yuga, during which is marked the birth of Sri Ram. Then we have Dwapar Yuga, where we have Sri Krishna there, and we are now in the Kali Yuga, and the greatest of the gurus there is Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. Now Samvatsara marks the Arya Samaj Sthapna Divas, the foundation of the Arya Samaj, in 1875 in Mumbai. Arya Samaj was founded by Maharishi Swami Dayananda Saraswati. We talked about him, I think about a month ago, when we were celebrating Rishi Bodh Utsav and Mahashivratri. And that's about an artist picture. The photo on the right is the photograph of Swami Dayananda, which was taken. That was in black and white, but then it's been color added. And the left one is the artist's creation. Why the Arya Samaj? Arya Samaj is two words, Arya and Samaj. Arya means people who are noble, noble in character, noble in their actions, noble in their nature, or temperament as we call it, which is gun, karma, and swabhav. So remember, when we are talking about the qualities of, or the definition of persons, it's always based on their quality. People are always given their dues on these three aspects: gun, karma, swabhav, character, deeds, and nature, and not on whatever else they may have acquired in life. Arya is also somebody noble in, as we say, thoughts, words, and deeds. And in Hindi, it's manasa, vacha, karmana. So manasa is from man, thoughts, vacha, words, and karmana, physical actions. Samaj is the association of people. So Arya being noble people, noble in words, deeds, and thoughts. So Arya Samaj becomes the association of noble people. Arya Samaj, the philosophy comes from the Vedas, and the Vedas are the revelation, knowledge revealed to mankind by God at the creation. The Vedas are four. We looked into that, I think, at one of the first sessions. Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Sam Ved. We'll again research that at some later point in time. But the Vedas are basically knowledge. It comes from the word Vid, and Vid means knowledge, Vidya. Arya Samaj promotes the concept of one God as per the Vedas. The prime name of God is Om, and this is also the universal sound. And how we recognize that as the universal sound When you wake up in the morning, just first thing, just stretch out your arms, pull at the back, and see the sound which comes out of your mouth. It's always Om. Be the person a Hindu, a Christian, a Muslim, it will be always the same sound. If he just does that when waking up, just stretch out the arms, pull the body backwards, and the sound comes automatically. And to understand what is Om, just it says, Ishwar God as Sarva Rakshak, protecting all in this universe. As the father, Pita, as the mother, Mata, as the friend, Sakha, and as the sibling, Bandhu. So that's a brief description of our relationship with God. And God as the acronym, G for generator, creator of this universe, O for the operator, sustainer of the universe, and D for the dissolver of the universe, which generally in Hinduism is known as Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So Arya Samaj, the philosophy is to do good to the whole world, uplifting the physical, mental, moral, and social standards of all. Arya Samaj, the last two principles says we need to work for the common good and common welfare, wherein lies our personal interest. And we learned this through the recent or ongoing COVID problem. The concepts of social distancing, washing of hands, masking, all these are, when we protect others, we also protect ourselves. So this is one clear example of where our interest lies when the common good or the common welfare is given priority. So that was a brief on the Hindu New Year, Nav Samvatsara. And we'll be celebrating, as from Monday for the next 9 days, Ram Navami, which commemorates the birth of Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram Chandraji. Maryada means someone who follows the principles of human values, of human life, ethics as per Dharma, righteous living. Purushottam, because of the qualities he demonstrated as a rule, as a son, as a brother, as a friend, as a ruler, as the king, as a father, in all these roles that he had in his life, he was exemplary. That's why he was known as Purushottam. Shri is usually the common way of addressing a male person, and a lady is called as Srimati. This is the way we greet somebody or refer to somebody with all due respect. Ram was his name. Chandra was added because his personality was as brilliant as what we know as the full moon, Chandra. Chandra refers to the moon, and especially during the full moon night, when you look at the sky, Do you look at the full moon or you pay attention to the other stars and everything? So that gives us one lead here, to be like the full moon in our life. So when we'll be shining like the full moon in our life, and shining in terms of brilliance of character, brilliance of in actions, brilliance in our nature, will also become like Sri Ram Chandra Ji. So the concepts of honoring exemplary persons in Hinduism, in the Vedic Dharma, is to learn from their personality, and in turn will build our own personality, take that as a role model, and become brilliant in turn. Next week, we'll talk more about Sri Ram Chandra Ji. So if you have anything you want to speak about Sri Ram Chandra Ji or the life of Sri Ram Chandra Ji, just get your mind and we may discuss about it next week. Any questions on today about why the Hindu New Year or how, etc.? That's no problem. So the Hindu New Year starts with the sunrise. And in Hindu calendar, the day starts not at midnight, but with the sunrise. It's always like that. So the day starts with sunrise and completes with the night, and the next day starts with the next sunrise like this. It's 12 months, and usually it's anything between, at times it's 29 days, it's 30 days, it's 31 days, depending upon the lunar phases. But overall, it makes about 360 days. And every 5 or 6 years, we have another additional month in the year, which generally is referred to as the Adhik Maas, the additional month. The Hindu calendar is basically on the lunar month, and the lunar month is also used in the Chinese calendar by the Muslims and Arabs, and by the Christians for one festival, Easter. Easter is also based on the lunar month. You see, the concepts are across what are known as the major religions of the world, but even the less known ones like the Jews, the Hebrews, the Jains, the Buddhism, etc., all follow the lunar calendars. For one, it coincides with the seasons, and second, it also coincides with the life of great people which are associated there, coincides with the harvest seasons, etc. And India, it's 6 seasons, so it's 2 months for each season. We'll take that at some later time. It's nearly time. Let's do one round of mantra chanting. Let me just get to the PowerPoint. Just give me 1 minute, please. I'll be sharing the mantras again. So let's do a round of chanting of this one. Start with Aryan.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mrityam Gamaya.
Then the next one, please. This one.
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu Ma Kashit Dukha Bhavet.
Good. Kushi, please.
Asto ma sadgamaya, tamso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma gamaya.
The next one.
Sarve bantu sakinaha, sarve santu nirmayah, sarve bandri pashatru ma kashik dukkha bhavet.
Okay, I'll chant it once and then you repeat after me. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Kushi, repeat please.
Sarve bantu sukhinak, sarve
Sukhinaha,
sukhina, sarve santu nirayamaha,
niramaya,
niramaya, sarve bandri
bhadrani
badrani pashayatu
pashyantu,
pashyantu makishtak
ma kaschit
kaschid dukha bhavet.
dukha bhav bhavet. Okay. Yes, please.
Asato mas Om Asato ma Sadagamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor ma Mritam Gamaya.
Next one.
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhavet.
Okay, I'll do the chanting. You chant along with me as far as you can, and then we'll close the session of today. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityormam mritam gamaya. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityormam mritam gamaya. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santo niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santo niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. So we'll leave it now for the Dhananjay for the closing, please.
Thank you everyone for joining today, our weekly program, Sanatan Dharm Simplified for the children's and young youth. Just for a reminder, we have a weekly satsang every Saturday morning, that is tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. and the spiritual learning for the adults every Sunday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Please join us on those times. We will do a Om Jap and we'll close.
Sit down straight, close the eye gently, and when we do the Om job, just feel the vibrations of the chanting throughout the body. Om. Namaste, everybody. Have a nice week ahead. Bye.